Every war has its heroes, but some stories of extraordinary courage remain untold, until now. In 1970, Lance Corporal Miguel Keith was just 18 years old, barely out of high school. Like thousands of other young Americans, he found himself halfway across the world in Vietnam. But on May 8th of that year, this teenager would perform acts of valor that would leave hardened combat veterans in awe. Dawn broke over the village of Quang Ngai Province like any other day. Keith and his fellow Marines had been tasked with defending local villagers from enemy forces. None of them knew they were about to face overwhelming odds. The attack came without warning. A massive North Vietnamese force descended upon their position. In the chaos of the initial assault, an explosion ripped through Keith's position. He was hit bad, the kind of wound that would send most soldiers looking for cover. But Miguel Keith wasn't most soldiers. Blood streaming down his body, Keith did something that defied all logic. He refused medical treatment. Instead, he grabbed his M60 machine gun. What happened next would become the stuff of Marine Corps legend. Keith, alone and wounded, charged directly at the enemy positions. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. With each charge, he scattered enemy forces, killing at least 3 soldiers and disrupting 2 separate enemy groups that were advancing on his unit. But Keith wasn't done. In the midst of the firefight, he spotted something that made his heart stop. An enemy grenade landing near his fellow Marines. Without hesitation, Keith sprinted through a hail of bullets. Time seemed to slow down as he reached the grenade, kicking it away moments before detonation. His actions that day saved countless American and Vietnamese lives, but freedom always comes at a price. Later in that same battle, Lance Corporal Miguel Keith made the ultimate sacrifice. He was 18 years old. For his extraordinary heroism and selfless actions, Keith was awarded the Medal of Honor. But perhaps his greatest legacy isn't the medal. It's the lives he saved that day. Marines who went home to their families, who had children and grandchildren, all because a teenage Marine refused to back down. Today, the USS Miguel Keith serves as a floating tribute to his courage. But his story reminds us of something more, that heroes don't always come with decades of experience or prestigious backgrounds. Sometimes they're just teenagers from modest beginnings who, when faced with impossible odds, choose to put others before themselves. Lance Corporal Miguel Keith. Remember his name.